Hey, it's D-Rock, and today we're going to take a little tour of the showroom floor from New York Comic Con 2023. Lots of surprises, lots of really cool stuff here. Let's get right into the video. Before we get into this tour, do me a favor. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and also hit that like button. It really helps our channel to grow. So in this video, we're just going to take a quick tour of the showroom floor of New York Comic Con 2023. Lots of people in attendance and some great exhibits, comics, panels, all great things that happened throughout this weekend. It was a whole lot of fun. And you start out mainly with the Dragon Ball Z section. This is where I always enter the showroom floor. You have these huge inflatable Dragon Ball Z characters. There's crazy exhibits as you see here. There's just a giant tank with these characters. It's from some sort of video game. I forget. They actually had people inside of this little thing here actually playing the game as well, which is just really cool. There's a lot of interactive elements and exhibits throughout New York Comic Con, which is always fun to try and just dabble with while you're there. Then you get the Loungefly booth, the Funko. I don't even go anywhere near that. It like sells out immediately, and I'm not really into that type of thing either, and the lines are just absolutely crazy. But they did have the cool eBay store kind of set up in here as well. They had a bunch of different like slabs set up, like some Invincible, some Walking Dead, some great comics. I think they had a bunch of kind of live streams on I guess eBay does have some sort of similar things to Whatnot now. I'm not really too sure, but you got some Transformers in here. They had a bunch of special guests come in here. Ric Flair, I know, was at the eBay booth. There you got a great slab of Invincible there. There's that Transformers as well. Daniel Warren Johnson. If you're not reading the new Transformers series, you definitely got to check it out. Daniel Warren Johnson is destroying it. The Nickelodeon booth they had set up there. They had one from Paramount as well right next to it. The Good Burger, basically just burger store, man. So it was cool. This was one thing that me and my wife did just for the hell of it. Normally we don't get into this thing, but she's a fan of Good Burger. They had these Good Burger games set up. Whoever won in the battle of the burgers won some sort of prize, and you can take a picture with each other. They also had this sick Good Burger car set up just in like kind of the food court area of Comic-Con as well. It's just wild, the things you'll see throughout here. Just like this, there's the South Park displays. You got the Cartman little homeless attire there, and then you got the Karen Randy Marsh hair and mustache, man. Just hilarious. I'm a huge fan of South Park, so it was very cool to see these little exhibits. Definitely some heavy manga vibes throughout this con here. You had a bunch of celebrities lined up doing autographs and taking photos with people. Then on the other side of this area of the con floor here, you had Jake the Snake Roberts along with Rikishi as well, taking photos with fans and doing autographs and etc. Heavy wrestling theme throughout this con, man. I seen lots of wrestling cosplayers. You got Seth Rollins there and John Cena. Then again, one of the other days here, you had Will Hobbs along with Rikishi still doing autographs and taking photos with fans and stuff like that. Very cool, man. Then you had more manga stuff. This great Chainsaw Man display here. Just this big, beautiful Chainsaw Man artwork displayed across the wall. Had to get a close-up of that. I know my boy Nerd X Core would have loved to check this exhibit out here. Just big old Chainsaw Man. Give him a follow on Instagram and YouTube. He does reviews on some of the latest chapters from Chainsaw Man as well. Some original artwork here on the wall. Just very, very dope, man. I love New York Comic Con so much. So many little weird exhibits and areas. So many things to choose from. If you're a fan of just, artwork, toys, getting celebrities' autographs and things like that, comic books. There's so much stuff to choose from here. Lots of great artists and lots of great booths to purchase things from. It's a hell of a time, man, and I really, really enjoy coming here now. Then you got Abigail Morris here signing autographs and taking photos with fans as well with them big-ass tatars. Which, of course, you had to throw that in the video quick, you know what I'm saying? But good God almighty, that is ridiculous. But you also had some more wrestlers here and stuff like that. You had this great daddies here, pillows, man. The Pedro Pascal, but as I was saying, more wrestlers. So you had Ron Simmons over here. You had Matt Hardy, Lex Luger, Ted DiBiase was here. Just a heavy wrestling theme throughout this con, which I really enjoyed. And then you have the damn American Gladiators, man. Freaking Ice there throwing it up. really cool seeing them there. If you have checked out the Netflix documentary about American Gladiators, it is fantastic. And then you have my boy Terry here, who has this amazing artwork. We got a Berserk banner from him last year at New York Comic Con. It's 6 feet tall. It's the actual length of the sword from Guts, man. Such intricate detail in it. He did a fantastic job on that, and I really love his artwork. And look who it is there. You got Danhausen checking out the NECA booth here at New York Comic Con. I just happened to stumble upon him there before I actually met up with him later and got an autograph and got some of his New York Comic Con exclusives. So I picked up the foil variant cover, and then they also had slabs of the, I think it was Baltimore Comic Con, the Batman variant that he had, so I had to pick that up. NECA killing it this year, as they always kind of do. I kind of fell out of this this whole collecting NECA thing, but man, their stuff is fantastic. They have some great Last Ronin stuff here, great Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff, the Rat King there, the Wolfman, just a Shredder like on throne from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. Just real badass stuff there. Danhausen, I know, loves all this stuff. He's a big fan of action figures. I'm sure if you're probably watching this, you might have seen him unboxing us on his YouTube channel. He's got a great YouTube channel as well, and he's just a fantastic wrestler, man, and super cool and friendly person. I love, I'm gonna make it a tradition now. Every year I come to New York Comic Con, I gotta stop at Danhausen, wherever he may be, and, purchase something from him, get an autograph, take a selfie with him or whatever. But NECA's killing it, man. They have this great Christmas Elvira figure, which is really badass. Some Chucky stuff. Some of the Toonie Terrors figures here. You got Svengoolie, some Misfits, Captain Spaulding there. You got the Pee-wee Herman from Pee-wee's Playhouse. Superman, the Joker, and of course, good old Danhausen. They have the life-size Chucky doll, which is fantastic, man. I might have to get this. The detail on it is absolutely crazy. Now, if you scanned your badge at this booth every day, it got you a chance to be entered to win that thing, actually. So, hopefully I do win it one day. So I got some of these Thanksgiving little action figures here. Some more Elvira stuff. That weird, I forget what that doll is that dances, man. Good Lord, they made a figure of that, too. Then you got the Krampus in here. Definitely good horror figures from NECA. They always kill it with that. Some of the original monsters, Creature from the Black Lagoon. I love that black and white Creature from the Black Lagoon. And then we get to the Marvel booth, which is kind of lackluster, man, I will say. Marvel doesn't really, they don't go too hard at New York Comic Con. You'd figure they would a little bit more, but you got the Jane Foster's Thor there. Then you got the little Spider-Man. And then you had the Spider-Man 2 little area where you could get your picture taken with the life-size standouts of Miles Morales and Peter Parker Spider-Man there. And then you have the HasLab over here. So they have this giant man, I guess, coming out soon, very similar to like the Galactus that they released, or the Sentinels. I'm pretty sure last year at New York Comic Con they had the Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider out here on display as well. So you get a bunch of different like head switch outs with this thing. There's a Skrull version of Giant Man, and then there's a bunch of these other figures. This is like a Kickstarter program, so the more people that purchase this item, they hit like the different levels, and then you get different figures and stuff like that. I'm not sure really how it works, but this great like animatronic E.T. with the light up heart and the finger man and the eyes look crazy. This thing was absolutely sick looking. Then you have like the New York Comic Con official store here where you can come and get your swag. They got like jerseys and shirts. They actually had a really cool flannel shirt. They had the CGC booth here. So one thing that is pretty cool about New York Comic Con is that if you have some books that you want to get graded and such, or if you get like some autographs and things like that here at the con, you can come here and then you can get your books submitted, so you don't have to send them off and like wait forever for them to come back. But at their booth here, they had some like graded comics on display here, some graded video games, of course, as always. They had Resident Evil 4 for GameCube up here, which was kind of dope, man. I'm a huge Resident Evil 4 fan, so it's kind of cool just to see these books here. The first appearance of Poison Ivy, of course, which is a gorgeous book, man. Some Dracula. And then you had Ryan Brown doing remarks at the Very Gary booth here at New York Comic Con. I'm sure if you're watching this channel, possibly you know who Very Gary is. I mean, he has a great comic book channel. He does great live streams on Whatnot. He had a great selection of comics here. I ended up picking up the Department of Truth issue #1. It was one of the books that I was looking for at the con. Then you had a bunch of crazy original artwork, and then just like some monster keys at booths throughout this whole thing. So you have like the first appearance of Loki and Iron Man and Thor, Journey into Mystery, some graded video games. Always like seeing these because I don't know, I just do. It's just still weird to me that they grade video games, but it is very cool. Some Hulk 181, of course. ASM 300, some Moon Knight action up in here, more original artwork, a bunch of just crazy monster slabs in high grades or just all over grades. I love seeing these Bronze Age, gold, just fantastic comics, some Superman stuff here, Batman, just banger books on display at this Metropolis Collectibles, I guess it is here. But definitely, if you're into comics, there's plenty of places to get books from. So you have all these like crazy Bronze Age, Gold Age, Silver Age, really big monster keys, and then you have like the Comic-Con exclusives throughout here, and then you just have a bunch of Raw books as well. But man, gotta love the giant size X-Men, some more Hulk 181, Amazing Fantasy 15, some Fantastic Four, Journey into Mystery. God, I just love to see these books in person. It's one thing to like just see them in photographs and stuff like that online, but when they're just like in a display case for everybody to see, man, it's just it's really it's a fantastic thing to see in person. These older Archie books, The Crow, the New Mutants, man, the first appearance of Deadpool, The Walking Dead, of course, Ultimate Fallout #4, Miles Morales, and here's just another just little booth here with just a bunch of different Raw wall books here. So all kinds of Silver Age keys and anything you can think of. My man there was awesome. But this is just like a huge section of the con floor. There's a couple rows of booths that are basically just this over and over again. So whether it be like slabs or like Raw books, then they have like these booths here, like Carnivore Comics, which had some great exclusives. I love the Swamp Thing that was from here, and the Transformers, actually the Comic Tom exclusive. I ended up picking those from Carnivore Comics. Shout out to them, man. They had some great exclusives this year, probably some of the best of the con, I would say. And then you have this, I believe, the Shattered Comics with these great Super Mario and Vampirella, made of like the broken mosaic glass type of thing, man. They also have the comic book covers, really badass. And then getting into like legit art, man, you had the Alex Ross display, which is always fun to check out when you're at New York Comic Con. Just seeing these paintings on display, just absolutely gorgeous. Just so many Marvel characters done so well. Spider-Man, just really, really, really fantastic artwork, man. This is one of my favorite booths to check out when I'm at New York Comic Con. Is just the Alex Ross thing. I know last year they had like the huge wall of a lot of those characters that they're having on those like those Alex Ross variants that were released recently. Man, some Superman, Batman here. Alex Ross is just an absolutely brilliant artist, man. He kills it when it comes to like the realism style of these Marvel characters and DC characters that we all know and love. Man, just fantastic. I love that MODOK in there. Ghost Rider, come on, man. Really, really fantastic stuff here. And then they also had a little Bill Sienkiewicz area in the Alex Ross display as well. So you have some like Into the Spider-Verse original artwork from Bill Sienkiewicz in here, which is just really fantastic stuff. I'm a huge fan of the Bill Sienkiewicz artwork, whether it be like Moon Knight or also Daredevil stuff. He just absolutely kills it. Speaking of Daredevil, we do have some statues here. So you do get some booths throughout New York Comic Con that do sell some statues, like Sideshow Collectibles, Iron Studios, etc. I didn't see anything from like Prime 1 or XM Studios here. You have the Diamond Select and Gentle Giant display, which they have a bunch of great statues. Don't sleep on them. They got some great stuff coming out. I think my only nitpick with Comic-Con is that they don't have like booths from Sideshow Collectibles or XM Studios. The statues are definitely they're not as prominent at this con as it should be. I really wish that they did have them. I know they're doing more of like kind of digital shows and stuff now, or just having their own sort of releases of statues and stuff like that. But it would be great for Sideshow or something like that to come here. But Diamond Select was killing it, man. They got some great Star Wars stuff, some Mandalorian, Luke Skywalker in here. They definitely have been stepping their game up recently and it really shows in the latest stuff they had on display at New York Comic Con this year. Lots of different Star Wars stuff, some more Mandalorian, really, really dope stuff, man. Mandalorian on the bike, man, with Grogu in the pouch with his little ears flapping back, which is just great. They had some Indiana Jones stuff in here as well. Very cool to see. It's some stuff you don't really see too often. They don't really make Indiana Jones statues, so it's cool that Diamond Select is going out and doing this. Some more of the Star Wars stuff. Han Solo. Lots of the weird little creatures and stuff. I mean, come on, they don't make stuff like this. Darth Vader with the battle-damaged helmet. Come on now. Man, I'm really liking these busts. These busts that they've been putting out recently are really great. Then we got some Willy Wonka up in here, some Game of Thrones action, just a bunch of just great statues from pop culture. Some Matrix. I haven't seen Matrix stuff in a while. They're just throwing these out real quick. Really great looking stuff. Some Lord of the Rings as well. Man, they're just killing it, man. The paint application and stuff on all of these looks fantastic. The sculpts, just the poses and everything. You have some wrestlers down here as well. Bryan Danielson, Chris Jericho. This last Ronin bust is so badass, man. I might have to actually pick that up for the collection as well. The Iron Giant, though, and some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. See, like, the spectrum is so large with them, man. They got all kinds of stuff coming out. Jean-Claude Van Damme. Speaking of just random Jean-Claude Van Damme in here, then you got some Walking Dead figures. This Michonne statue is dope. Then some Invincible figures, so I guess they're going to be dabbling with that now too, which is pretty dope. Then you got some Thor, Kingpin, some Silver Surfer action in here. Just a crazy amount of statues from this. Then they had like this whole X-Men cabinet, or like Marvel and stuff, so you have some Iron Man, some Captain America, just some Guardians of the Galaxy, Thor, the Hawkeye there. Really sick. The X-Men animated series, so you got like Psylocke and Apocalypse and Mystique. That bust of Cyclops is badass, dude. Looks fantastic with a little bit of optic blast peeking out the side. Wolverine, Green Goblin up in there. The Omega Red looks really sick. I mean, they're just really, really knocking it out of the park when it comes to these statues, man. So it was cool to see them actually put their little display on here, since we don't have any sideshow or anything like that. I mean, come on, bam. What are we, Beta Ray Bill? Come on now, that thing is, that's my like favorite reveal of the show, for real, man. That was awesome. Then you had some like Bandai stuff like that. So you had this Godzilla here, this like big ass Godzilla thing that everybody was taking pictures with and stuff. The detail on it was just fantastic. They actually had two of these. They had one here, and then they had one like on the other side for no reason. That's like how much of this like crazy stuff they have on display throughout New York Comic Con. You turn a corner, you're just gonna walk into a big ass statue or a big inflatable character that you grew up loving. Like, it's such, the atmosphere of New York Comic Con is just so dope, man. It's so fun to go to, and you're just surrounded by people just like you, which is it's just a really great experience. If you've never been there, you definitely have to at least check it out once, I say. And it's only going to get better and bigger from here on out. So you have this Godzilla thing here, which was really cool, man. I'm a huge Godzilla fan, so just seeing these little figures and stuff like that was dope. And then you have these little Build-A-Kits or whatever from Bandai as well, these plastic models, which were great. I love just the displays at these booths were just crazy. Like glass cases with neon lights and like all sorts of stuff everywhere, man. They have like the life-size Ultraman, just really sick, just super, super detailed. It's just great going around the floor and just checking out all this stuff. So if you're like going to the panels and such and checking out all those and, you know, learning about upcoming things that may be coming out, it's always just cool just looking at all this stuff too. And some of them is interactive, and then you'll just run into like celebrities. Like, you'll see Danhausen checking out the NECA stuff there. This big Gundam thing too, just right like in the middle of the showroom floor. Not really a fan of Gundam, but man, just seeing this type of thing in person really just kind of like takes your breath away, honestly. Just like, it's so badass. But you run into like celebrities. Like, I don't know how many celebrities I just happened to run into. Private Party from AEW just was there walking around. My wife spotted out this dude Pon, who is from the Ink Master show that which we're fans of. You know, you just walk around and you see people just, you know, enjoying the con just like you would be. Last year I ran into like Brody King, a bunch of different wrestlers and stuff like that, which is it's just a really fun experience, man. You have things like this just set up in the middle of the con floor as well, where you can walk through this ocean display thing with the LED screens there, and then you have like Sonic games hooked up where you can just play Sonic in the middle of this whole showroom floor. Tons and tons of merchandise. I don't know how many times I seen that pink Patrick Ranger walking around this con. He just looking so goofy as hell, but really awesome. And then you have this it was like a collab with Heroes and Villains, I guess, with this like Mutant Academy booth. So it's like you literally just walk into like the Xavier mansion here, really, and there's you know, like old school vintage photographs of Storm and Rogue and Wolverine on the walls in here. But they had a great merch. Loved like the hats and stuff that they had here and the t-shirts, and I was a huge fan of that Xavier jacket there. Love that I caught that man doing a backwards roll for some reason. It was super anime style. It's just like that Naruto run that kids do or whatever. But they had that big screen set up with just like motion manga going on, man. I would have loved to have seen some Berserk on there. They definitely can't play that because there's children and things about, but that would have been dope to see like an animated version of Berserk. A giant inflatable Goku on the floor here at New York Comic Con as well. You have this cat here. I don't know what that's from, but god damn it, is it cool. Another big inflatable manga character, man. I think that's from One Piece. So I'm kind of not familiar with when it comes to like manga stuff like that, but dude, this, I'm telling you, if you haven't been to New York Comic Con, you just must immerse yourself in this sea of people and check out awesome things like this. This character from Naruto here, just giant, like cat with 9 tails or whatever, just on display in here. Just, I mean, come on, man. You're not going to see stuff like this anywhere else. New York Comic Con really goes all out when it comes to the things that they display on the floor. And then everybody who's involved with cosplay and stuff there were fantastic, man. I had a great time interacting with everybody and taking pictures and taking videos for reels and stuff. It is an absolutely fantastic place to go to if you're a comic book fan or just a pop culture fan. Definitely check out New York Comic Con at some point. Let me know what you think about this video down in the comments, man. And of course, as always, thank you for watching.